Proszę Państwa, zanim zaczniemy, wprawdzie tam w koszyczku u Piotrka jest już trochę pytań, natomiast wydaje mi się, że jest to niepowtarzalna okazja zadać wszelkie pytania, które Państwo macie. Jeśli Państwo chcą wiedzieć cokolwiek oprócz o Global Reporting Initiative, o raportowaniu według GRI, o wytycznych G4, to lepszej osoby niż Sabine, żeby odpowiedzieć na te pytania, Państwo nie znajdziecie. Jeśli chcieliby Państwo wiedzieć więcej o raportowaniu zintegrowanym, o tym, jak do tego podejść, jak dobry raport przygotować, co jest ważne i o co w ogóle chodzi w tych wytycznych. Jest z nami Oliwier jeszcze dzisiaj, jeszcze w tej chwili, więc wszelkie pytania można mu zadać. No i oczywiście, jeśli Państwo chcą wiedzieć więcej na temat tego, jak wykorzystać raport, albo jak w ogóle wykorzystać odpowiedzialność do budowania relacji z klientem, myślę, że Pan Kamil z przyjemnością na wszystkie te pytania odpowie. Dlatego ja poproszę Piotrka, żeby tak jeszcze przemaszerował pomiędzy Państwem. Jeśli ktoś ma jeszcze jakieś pytania, to one się do naszego wiklinowego koszyczka jak najbardziej zmieszczą. Jak nie, to skorzystam z okazji, żeby zadać te pytania, które zostały zapisane. Poczekam na Piotra. Dzięki. Stressful moment. We're waiting for the questions. No dobrze, proszę Państwa, koszyk jest. Jak przystało na taki czas mikołajkowy, wyciągamy prezenty. A first question, będę zadawać pytania w takim języku, w jakim będą odpowiadali nasi paneliści. So first question is to you, Sabine. What do you think is the major problem for companies in GRI-based reporting process? 1-2 minutes for an answer.
I was going to say, what time do we stop? I engage with a lot of corporate people who make the G4 report, and the most difficult thing is the materiality assessment. It will remain the most difficult thing, and it is the most difficult thing, but there's where we can get the value. So that's where we see the most struggle. But what we hear from people who have transitioned to G4, it is a struggle to make it. It is a struggle to do the assessment, but it's worthwhile. After all the trouble, they see the result, and they see they can actually improve their company because of it.
What is the problem for companies? The process, choosing the right topics, how to do it, everything.
Everything. It's choosing the right topics, that for sure. It's the process. It's engaging an entire company in this process, because if you're talking about a simple topic like water within your company, within your supply chain, if you just think about in your own company, where is water used? That's the problem.
Thank you. Oliver, I have also a question for you. IRC says that we should build a model of value creation when we think in an integrated way. The question is how to build a good model of value creation.
Who asked your question? I think it's a very good one.
Sorry, there is a supporting question. Where to concentrate in that aspect? What to concentrate on?
Concentrate on what?
What to concentrate on in this aspect? It was supposed to be a supporting question.
I appreciate Sabine telling me good luck. No, actually, yes. When we are talking about integrated reporting, I usually compare integrated reporting to an iceberg. And the report is only the visible part. You can only create the visible part if you consider what is below the water, what is under the water. And in our jargon, we are talking about integrated thinking. So we can only create a good report if there is a good organization. Just to echo what Sabine just said, it's all about organization. And the value will only be created on a smooth way. So it will be quite obvious. Now, we do not set standards to create value. We just encourage companies to do it as good as possible, but we do not, as I said earlier, we do not tick the box. So it's up to the company to consider if and how it's material, But more important, it's up to the counterparts, the investors, the policymakers, the regulators to say, okay, this is in line with your business. You have created value.
Okay, it sounds easy to be done. From my experience, companies really have problems for answering the question, how do we create value in our business?
You know, reporting is about storytelling. So when a company has to communicate, it's about to say something about its activity. I personally struggle when the stock, the share value is going up or down because of a reporting agenda. Usually or normally, it should be flat. There shouldn't be any bad or good circumstances moving the share value. So now, how to create this value? It's about providing a good story. As I said earlier, hopefully we will no longer talk about reporting because we are just telling a story, and the reporting will no longer be on a periodic basis, whether it's annual, quarterly, or whatever. Yeah, but it will be permanent. It will be just a smooth process.
Thank you. Dobrze, przenosimy się tutaj. Panie Kamilu, nie ma pan łatwiejszego pytania niż pozostali. Jaki powinien być wiarygodny raport, by był wiarygodnym źródłem informacji dla klientów i by chętnie po niego sięgali?
To jest tak. Raport będzie wiarygodny wtedy, kiedy będzie odzwierciedlał to, co rzeczywiście w relacji z konsumentami robi firma. Jeżeli firma przyjmuje pewne wartości, a firmy wpisują w swoje wartości i misje, relacje z konsumentami i składają czasami pewne obietnice, ja ufam, że w dobrej wierze jak najbardziej, to przede wszystkim, żeby ta firma mogła to zaraportować później, powinna weryfikować, czy to, co sobie założyła, dzieje się w praktyce. I powinna to robić zarówno wewnątrz samej firmy, ale powinna też poddać takie procedury, relacje i tak dalej pod jakąś ewaluację zewnętrzną. Kogoś, kto z perspektywy spojrzy na to, czy założone procedury, normy jakości i tak dalej rzeczywiście są realizowane. Żeby nie okazało się, że gdzieś tam na szczeblu zarządczym mamy pięknie opisaną procedurę, której nikt w terenie w relacji z klientem nie realizuje. Bo jeżeli opiszemy tego typu procedurę nierealizowaną w raporcie, to niedobrze. Myślę, że bardzo dobrym narzędziem są konsultacje, chociażby z takimi organizacjami jak nasza. Jeżeli ktoś pyta nas, co naszym zdaniem należałoby poprawić w jego relacjach z konsumentami, to my mu bardzo chętnie powiemy, jakie mamy problemy, jakie skargi do nas docierają, a obsługujemy około 150 000 konsumentów rocznie. To są Państwa klienci, którzy przychodzą naskarżyć na Państwa czasem do nas. W związku z tym jesteśmy w stanie powiedzieć, ten obszar, nie wiem, przy zawieraniu umów konsumenci są niezadowoleni z tego, a przy obsłudze reklamacji niezadowoleni są z tego. To są dla Państwa wyzwania. Jeżeli chcecie Państwo zaadresować te wyzwania w swojej polityce, w swoich procedurach i tak dalej, to bardzo dobrze. I trzeba o tym napisać w raporcie, że tego typu wyzwanie w relacji z interesariuszami, jakimi są konsumenci, się pojawiło. Natomiast trzeba mieć na uwadze, że no, papier ścierpi wszystko, ale powinniśmy to weryfikować.
Dziękuję. Sabine, next question to you. Does GRI plan any guidelines or indicators that would be more applicable for small and medium enterprises?
That's the question, the $1 million question. Currently, G4 is already applicable for SMEs. We absolutely realize that it is very difficult for SMEs to fill in all the requirements in G4, but we do see a growth of SMEs filling in and making their report with G4, just because the big companies, the multinationals, require them to, because multinationals are taking into account the whole supply chain. Therefore, they want their suppliers, sometimes SMEs, to fill in a part of a report, and in the end, so the multinational can make their report, but over the course of some years, they want the SME to make their own report. So it can be used. We do realize it's difficult. If you need help, please contact us.
Okay, thank you. Need to find the blue one. Olivia, could you indicate three characteristics of a good integrated report? Three.
Can you go back to my slide?
No.
No, I think there are a number of principles. There are not three. There are not one. There is a set, but definitely the one that I personally like are definitely short or concise, so readable. I personally should enjoy reading a report, so I should be pleased to get the story. So that's the first. It should, of course, I know it shouldn't be said, but it goes without saying that it should perfectly reflect the company. How many times did I read a report and I said, no, it can't be this company. And third, and it's part of the first, it should be easy. Back to the connectivity question, it should be easy to navigate, to browse the report. There are many others, but I think these ones are quite important to me.
Thank you. Panie Kamilu. Dobrze, to są dwa pytania, więc zadam na razie jedno. Czy Federacja konsultuje raport odpłatnie?
Proszę Państwa, uczestniczyliśmy w wielu spotkaniach z interesariuszami i nie pobieramy za to wynagrodzenia. To są spotkania, na których różne głosy są słyszane i dobrze, że głos konsumentów też na wielu z nich jest słyszany. To nie jest usługa, którą byśmy komercyjnie świadczyli, więc jeżeli ktoś z Państwa chce się dowiedzieć, co myślimy na ten temat jako głos konsumentów, zapraszamy. W miarę możliwości kadrowych będziemy w tym uczestniczyć po prostu.
Też dodam, że pan Kamil w jury też nieodpłatnie czyta wszystkie raporty. Sabine, I think this materiality that you said is the most difficult part, is really a difficult part, because the question is about this. How to assess materiality in the most efficient and strategic way? What are the good global practices? No, the questions are not easy. I know.
How, can you repeat it? How?
I hope so.
What is the best way to assess materiality?
Yeah, in the most efficient and strategic way, maybe there are any global good practices that you can share with us? Or theoretical approach?
No, you can go. I'm thinking there are several good practices that we can share. The feedback I keep on getting is that it is a time-consuming matter to decide on which topics. It is difficult to decide which topics are most, to place the threshold is the most important one. Which do we discuss this reporting cycle and which don't we? That's where people struggle most. It's not the assessment itself, because the people who are making the reports are able to do it. It's the assessment of something is just beneath the threshold that we decided on, but it is so important that we do decide to take it on. That's the most time-consuming part. But Olivier?
Well, that's the beauty of not being a standard setter, because by providing a framework, we rely on those who are making the standards. And of course, no, it's not a joke, but when requiring in the framework to go for materiality, of course, we rely on, by example, ISB for IFRS or US GAAP for FASB and so on. So these guys have devoted a huge amount of energy to define what is material. And I know that the accounting world, and I'm sorry to say that it's mostly, for not saying only, for the financial parts, much less for the non-financial, whether it's social, environmental, or human, or whatever. There is much less being said about materiality. But there are some definitions that are very worthwhile to be considered.
It is true that it's difficult to be the standard in this case.
Okay, I have also a question especially for you. How IIRC tackled the issue of comparability of the reports? Because the IIRC framework is not as specific as GRI.
It's interesting because that was the very first question. I don't know who asked the question, but I very like it. That is the very first question that I raised before moving to the IIRC. So when I met Paul Druckmann, the CEO of IIRC, I asked him, how do you address comparability? And there is no clear answer, I'm afraid, because as you said, we are not a standard setter. So we cannot say, okay, it's IFRS 1 again or IAS 16 against IAS 16, it's apple to apple. So we are promoting, we are asking to go for this. We try to make sure that a report is as much comparable to another one, but we don't set standards to make it. So we, again, I know it's easy. We rely on these guys, standard setters, to say what to report. And at the end, we expect things are comparable. I think, sorry, comparability is definitely, it's not the end. I think it's a journey to go to a good or to the best reporting. So, and I think when we will have an excellent report, it will be comparable from one company to another one.
Thank you. Panie Kamilu, to było jeszcze drugie pytanie do Pana. Podzieliłam tutaj, żeby ten stres jakoś rozłożyć. Jak Federacja może zachęcić firmy do raportowania?
Proszę Państwa, no przede wszystkim ja powiem tak, chyba do wszystkich nas jakiś czas temu dotarło, że nie możemy w relacjach z konsumentem używać tylko takich argumentów jak cena. Do coraz większej ilości przedsiębiorców dociera, że jakość jest bardzo ważna, ale oprócz niej jest cała masa różnych innych wartości, które dla konsumentów są istotne. I ja jako konsument chciałbym mieć po drugiej stronie dobrego, wiarygodnego partnera, który mnie też traktuje jak partnera. I w raporcie społecznym często mogę się o tym dowiedzieć. I myślę, że to, że uczestniczymy od paru lat w jury konkursów i to, że zwracamy uwagę na różne rzeczy i to, że finalnie w jakiś tam sposób też mamy udział w tym, kto te nagrody otrzymuje, to jest z naszej strony zachęta. Dlatego, że ci przedsiębiorcy, którzy napisali dobry raport i mogą nim zainteresować tą grupę, którą są konsumenci, będą mieli ułatwione zadanie trochę, wiedząc, że to jest naprawdę dobry raport, który został nagrodzony, o którym można głośno powiedzieć. Ci, którzy jeszcze nie raportują, zobaczą relację z tego wydarzenia, na którym dzisiaj jesteśmy i pomyślą, że też może warto. Proszę Państwa, ludzie coraz częściej docierają do treści, do których my nie mamy pojęcia w ogóle, że docierają. Wiele z Państwa raportów jest online dostępnych coraz częściej i ludzie sięgają tam czasem. To nadal nie jest grupa 100% czy 80%, tylko 20%, ale dla tych ludzi, których to interesuje, dostępność tych raportów, gdzie nie trzeba już szukać papierowej wersji i tak dalej, jest na pewno dużym ułatwieniem i myślę, że dla nich warto to robić.
Dziękuję. Mam nadzieję, że wszystkich, chociaż w tym gronie to chyba już nie trzeba zachęcać, ale jak Pan słusznie powiedział, będzie to nagrane i może zachęci tych, których tu dzisiaj z nami nie ma. Sabine, your turn again. The EU Commission is preparing guidelines for the directive. Different organizations are preparing the standards. What is GRI doing to ensure the leading role as the reporting standard? I think, I'm sorry, what is the GRI doing to ensure taking the leading role as the reporting standard?
We're doing that in several ways. First of all, we made, in regards to the EU directive, we made sure that it's workable. We have a ready linkage document, so people who are reporting on G4 can easily report on the EU directive. Regarding the SDGs, we have worked so hard with the UN to get the SDGs have a good place for the private sector, and we've managed that. We have made with the UNGC and the WBCSD, we have made the SDG Compass to make sure it's a good link. We want people to make good, transparent reports that are readable for consumers, for investors, for everybody. That's our approach. That's how we want to continue to be the leader of the pack. We want to make sure that it's worthwhile reporting. We want the outcome to be the most important thing. That's how we do it.
Thank you. Olivier, in your opinion, what impact on corporate reporting will have the market abuse regulation coming into force in mid-2016? I think we need some support. Market abuse regulation. Okay.
My question. That was my question. Thank you. Piotr Biernacki, Polish Association of Listed Companies. As the market abuse regulation and market abuse directive come into force in the European Union in July 2016, and they force the companies to push out all the material information, all the inside information before quarterly reports, semi-annual reports, annual reports, etc. So how do you think this pushing out information, all the inside and material information before periodical reporting would have an influence on corporate reporting? Because if investors and all the other, let's say, counterparts of a company know everything that is material just after it happens, why do they need to wait for an annual report, whether it is a financial report, CSR report, integrated report, etc.? How do you see this, and how do you compare it, what's happening in the European Union, to what's happening, let's say, in the US or on other markets?
First, let me tell you that I'm not an expert in market abuse directive. So if you ask me about accounting directive or the transparency directive, I could answer. But from my understanding is that there is nothing that might compete among the different directives. So if there is something relevant in one directive and another one is competing, it will not work. So in other words, today, a company has to disclose what is relevant to the market. That is the concept of materiality that we discussed earlier. Today, I can tell you that all that's going on in the EU needs to be consistent with what's going on around the world. That is, this famous level playing fields, and there might be no competing advantage or disadvantage among the different regions. So I cannot believe that this market abuse directive will impact in any bad way the quality of the corporate communication, corporate reporting. So I am very much, and again, living in Brussels, breathing in Brussels, waking up, going to sleep in Brussels. I can tell you that I have a very strong, very high opinion of the policymakers, and they are very keen on making the things so much better. So NFI is one example, but the DSM, the Digital Single Market, the Capital Market Union, all these initiatives are so well in the good directions that I'm quite sure that we are definitely going for a better world. Again, you have in front of you a very convinced European, so I'm quite hopeful.
Thank you. No, Pani Kamilu, muszę przyznać, że pytania do Pana nie należą do prostych. Czy raporty społeczne są wiarygodne? Tak brzmi pytanie.
Wiesz co, no, truizmem byłoby powiedzieć, to zależy. Wiele z raportów jest wiarygodnych. Powiem tak, oceniając będąc jednym z wielu członków jury, którzy oceniali te raporty, uchylę troszeczkę kuchni i powiem, że każdy raport, który przeszedł przez nasze biuro, był czytany również przez specjalistę, który zajmuje się daną branżą. Czyli jeżeli to były usługi finansowe, to przeglądał to człowiek, który zajmuje się u nas usługami finansowymi, energetyką i tak dalej, i tak dalej. I ze wszystkich raportów przeczytanych mieliśmy do niewielu jakieś zastrzeżenia co do wiarygodności. One pojawiały się. Nie były jakieś druzgocące, od razu Państwa uspokoję, ale bardzo wiele raportów było nie tylko wiarygodnych, jeżeli chodzi o to, co tam zawierały, jeżeli chodzi o te pozytywne rzeczy, ale uderzyło nas to, że w tym roku było też całkiem sporo raportów, które mówiły o problemach i sposobie poradzenia sobie z nimi. I to jest bardzo cenna rzecz również. Myślę, że ta wiarygodność również w tym aspekcie się objawiała i to jest dobry sygnał, że coraz więcej firm adresuje to również w raportach.
Proszę Państwa, ja tu mam ostatnie 2 różowe kartki do Sabiny, w związku z tym myślę, że zrobimy tak, że ja oddam koszyk Piotrkowi i jeśli w trakcie dyskusji komuś z Państwa jeszcze przyszło do głowy jakieś pytanie, to jest druga i ostatnia szansa, można je zadać, a ja w międzyczasie zadam pytania, które tutaj mam zapisane. Did it ever happen that someone proved that CSR report presented false data and sued a company? That is, was there any such case that the company was sued for cheating in a CSR report? Okay, Sabina also has difficult questions.
Not to my knowledge. First of all, I would like to say GRI is always neutral. We have no opinion on reports. That's out of the way. To my knowledge, there has not been a company sued. There might be, but this is to my knowledge.
Okay, so I have one more question. Does GI plan to adjust its reporting standards to the needs and limitations of medium? Oh, we had it. If yes, how and when? If not, why? To medium and small enterprises. There's a comment, however, in the previous wasn't. Complexity of G4 makes it almost impossible to report for an SME. Please note that the market cap of an average company in Poland is around 10% of an average company in UK. The question is if you want to add anything to your previous comment or we take it as a question answered.
We are working on the SMEs. At the moment, GRI is a guideline. GRI, as you might be aware of, is transforming into a standard. So we're not a standard yet, we're a guideline. First meetings are taking place. We will not have a G5 like we started with G1, went to G2 and then went to G4. We will not have a G5. We will just become the GRI standards. One of the goals is to try and make it more easy to SMEs. We're trying, we're well aware of the limitations it might have for an SME. If an SME has 1 employee, we are aware that it's difficult. At this moment, there's nothing that we can do to help you. Well, we can help you. There's nothing we can do to change it. It's difficult. We understand it.
As I understood, you said that GRI is moving from guideline to standard.
Yeah.
What does it mean? For the reporting companies also?
For the reporting companies, it will only become more easy.
Okay.
That's, I think, the best answer you guys can get. The reason why we're doing it, Olivier was talking about technology. G4 is a PDF document. I must say too. A big one. Well, that's two documents, 2 PDF documents. Sorry?
There is a taxonomy.
There is, but we're trying to make it more of this century, maybe next century. No, seriously, we're trying to get it up to date. We're trying to get it digitalized in the real way. PDF, I fully agree, is not digital. It's just paper and a computer on a screen. That's the main reason we're trying to change to standards. We're changing to standards is to get the tech part of it updated. We have a tech consortium, and that's consisting of companies who are taking part in the multi-stakeholder approach that we have at GRI to change from a PDF document into an interactive document where we can change, and this is why it becomes more easy for you as reporters, that we can change one paragraph. Of course, everybody will be advised of the changes, but just one paragraph can be changed and it will not affect the whole report. So that's going to be easy. It is going to take a little time, but we're getting there. And again, we're also doing the tech updates at the same time.
Thank you. Rozumiem, Piotrze, że twój koszyk pozostał pusty, więc domyślam się, że tym samym wszystkie Państwa wątpliwości zostały rozwiane. Therefore, I would like to ask you guys for one final thought or maybe recommendation or any inspiration that you would like to leave the reporting companies with. I will start from the end this time. Pani Kamilu, zacznę od Pana, żeby nie było tak, że zawsze na końcu.
No cóż, moja refleksja po tej edycji jest taka, że jest coraz lepiej, jeżeli chodzi o raportowanie i raporty są coraz ciekawsze, jeżeli chodzi o ich treść. I myślę, że to dobrze rokuje nam, żebyśmy w przyszłym roku, we wrześniu czy kiedykolwiek, jak kalendarz zostanie ustalony, to zobaczymy, żebyśmy się spotkali na jubileuszowej edycji z jeszcze lepszymi raportami i w jeszcze większym towarzystwie. Tego wszystkim życzę.
Dziękuję bardzo. Olivier, any final thought from you? Something for our companies that want to report, will be reporting?
Well, it will be maybe a bit obvious, but we are in a so fastly moving world that this has to be seen as a tremendous opportunities. Whatever it's called, GRI, integrated reporting, CDP, whatever, I don't care for standards. I don't care for a name or a brand. I care for a better world. So we are just moving to a fantastic world. Things are getting better and better, and I can't wait to be back here in Warsaw to see it. Okay.
Only green. Respect green. Okay, thank you.
Dziękuję.
Dziękuję. Sabine?
So the thought that I would like to give all of you is I fully agree with Olivier. We're here to make a better world all together. The way to do that is be honest about what we do. So therefore transparency. Talk to all your stakeholders. That means your employees, your suppliers, the people who buy your goods, the people who you rent the building from. Talk to everybody and try to find out together how we can make a better world and make sure that, let's be cheerful, in 25 years there will be no sustainability movement anymore because it's just part of doing business. That's my thought for you.
Jak to mówią, tym optymistycznym akcentem, myślę, że to jest świetny, żeby zakończyć. Państwu bardzo dziękuję za pytania. Thank you very much for your engagement and for the great discussion. Dziękuję bardzo też, żeby się nie czuć pokrzywdzonym, bo tak... No i cóż, oddaję głos do studia.